A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe. Masquera say, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. So this afternoon, we are taking a look on very important issues here. The Citizens Coalition for Change says that Mnangagwa got less than 40%, and this is something which has come from the data analysts, citizen agents, and supported by credible vote. So it's important for us to actually take a look onto this issue and this report so that we actually understand the reason why they have not published their own tallies. Remember, there are parallel tallies which were done by credible vote together with citizen agents, and they have not released the final results of their findings. They have not announced anything in regard to their findings. Some people have been questioning, what are the findings? And we have brought answers right here. So Triple C has posted this onto their Twitter handle, and they said, news headlines, ED got less than 40%, says data analysts as they call for election redo. And this is something from the data analysts, which is very, very important for us as the people of Zimbabwe to actually take a look on. So this is Citizens Daily Bulletin for the 1st of September 2023, and the headline says ED got less than 40%, says data analysts as they call for election redo. And they say, in a surprising revelation, the data analyst group Citizen Agents has conducted a meticulous data analysis and discovered that Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa received less than 40% of the votes in the recently concluded election. This finding is a stark contrast to the figures released by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC, which stated that Mnangagwa secured the 52.6% of the votes. Anyone who believes that ED can achieve 40% in any election, whether rigged or fair, must be seriously reconsider their mental state in courts. Commended the Citizens Agents Group. ZEC is exercising immense efforts to award that mean 52.7%. The numbers presented by ZEC and our data analysts are so divergent that it is essential for ZEC to disclose the methodology behind their claim. The group strongly believes that ZEC figures are not reflective of the true voting patterns and is urging for greater transparency from the Electoral Commission. However, they are cautious about releasing their findings just yet, as they anticipate that it could give ZEC an opportunity to rectify any mistakes. Recklessly releasing the evidence, such as the V11 forms that clearly show Mnangagwa's loss, would only serve to alert our opponents at ZEC, mentioned the Citizens Agents Group. We firmly believe in a clear, logical, and holistic approach before presenting any information. ZEC has a history of manipulating and covering up crucial information, as evidenced by the recent Pachedu Points incidents, where they secretly rectified their mistakes. The group further highlighted that ZEC has repeatedly used information that was put out by the public as means to correct their own errors. They firmly believe that the Commission's behavior undermines the credibility of the election and a sound way forward. So, if you take a look onto this report, you would understand that the reason why Freeman Chari and group have not yet released the V11s is because they don't want to preempt whatever Triple C would have used as evidence within the courts of laws. And by preempting your findings, what it means is when you approach the courts, they will have a justification of something. So they need to catch these people unawares. What it means is all their findings will need to be presented in a court of law so as to put Zimbabwe Electoral Commission in a tight corner where they're going to find it difficult to defend themselves. So that is very important, because you understand that once a court application is launched, there are timeframes regarding to when and where the responses must be given to the courts. And if you don't meet certain timeframes, you are in trouble. So what it means is this gives Citizens Coalition for Change an upper hand in regard to the challenges of this election in any court of law. And I believe that this team did incredibly well, and this team actually performed wonders. That is the reason why you saw on the 24th, several CSOs were arrested, were raided, and workers were arrested simply because they were tallying, or they were doing parallel voter tabulation of the voter election statistics. And that did not go well with the police or with the regime, and they sent a crackdown team, and these people were arrested, so that when ZEC announces, they announce something without any tally from anywhere. But they failed, because the evidence is now there, and the evidence points otherwise. So it's left to Zimbabwe Electoral Commission to come up clean, to come up and actually tell that how did they manage to arrive at 52.6%. We don't have any problem with the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission clarifying this issue and coming up with a clear position on how they ended up with 52.6%. That is so very important knowledge. Can expose ZAC and ZEC and ZANU to who? Because there is no law. Okay, this is knowledge. Okay, you know what is happening is when you have the evidence, when you approach the courts work on evidence, and there is overwhelming evidence which the senior judges in this nation will never throw away. Whatever you might think of, there is overwhelming evidence yekuti the senior judges will not temper to throw away such a case. And at a certain point in time, they will have to reconsider. It's either they will have to declare the election null and void, or they will have to declare the true winner of the election. And that is very important, because this time around, we are being guided by precedents. Remember, the way ZEC operates and the way courts operate are different. In courts, the law of precedence is very important. We have a precedence in 2018 judgment regarding the same matter of political disputes in the presidential election. They said they need raw data. They said that they need V11s, because they said V11s reflect how people performed at a particular area or at a particular polling station. So in the court of law, CCC is just going to present the evidence before the court that they won the election. By simply presenting that, they will expose the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, because the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission will have to prove that indeed Mr. Mnangagwa got 52.6%. And with the evidence from CCC, it is going to be very difficult. What it means is the court will be left with nothing except accepting that indeed this election was rigged and the wrong results were declared. So what the court will do is, number one, they will note the correct result of whoever won the election. Then we have to correct the figure which was announced for President Mnangagwa. And if they have to correct that, they will note down, indeed we are agreeing that Chamisa got this percentage, that Mnangagwa got this percentage. And in my view, I believe President Chamisa got 54% and President Mnangagwa got 33%. That is my view. So This 44% which was announced for President Nelson Chamisa, in my view, is bogus, and it can't be backed by any evidence. So what will then happen is that the issues of how this election was conducted will also be aided. And when they are added, what you get to understand is that it will give clear highlight or a clear picture of how these elections were rigged in favor of ZANU PF. Number one, starting by the Monzora court cases. Secondly, the Political Party Finance Act chance to have their own share of the money. The delimitation report, which disenfranchised a lot of people, including candidates who were part of this election. So you will see that all those issues, people had to move from polling station A, B, C, D, looking for their names, which were not appearing from their previous polling stations. All those issues will be raised and will be backed by evidence. The number of assisted voters is going to be very interesting, because in 2018, we are just going to look, was this person a first-time voter? And you say no. In the past election, how did this person perform? Did this person vote for A, B, C, D? Yes, he voted at a particular polling station. Did this person, was this person assisted to vote? If not, why is it different right now? Why is this person being assisted to vote in 2023, but was not assisted to vote in 2018? That is a very important issue. So you will see that all those issues will then put the credibility of this election on spotlight, and that would expose ZEC, ZANU PF, FAZ, and their affiliates. And at the later, you would see that all those findings, which we have to agree in a court of law, you will see that it is going to be difficult for the court to deviate from the actual judgment which they are supposed to be delivering, because any deviation would mean undermining the Constitution of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And anybody who undermines the Constitution of the Republic of Zimbabwe commits a crime. So that is going to be very important. So in conclusion, CCC is calling for an election redo because they believe that this election is flawed. It's not an issue of President Nelson Chamisa fighting for the presidential results. Consensus has been reached that it's not only the president who was affected. The president's election result was rigged. It can be corrected. It can be verified in court. But what about the MPs who were disenfranchised through vote intimidation, kumamisha? What about the councillors whose supporters were intimidated and they were forced to vote for a ZANU PF person? All those issues will be looked at. And I believe that we will have a conclusion to redo these elections. These are known as true votes, and we want the ZEC to release V11s of them. Yes, ZEC must release V11s. Please, ZEC, just put V11 on table. Why are you afraid? Yes, this is hi everyone here. Thank you very much, Grace Chiripo. Jafet Moyo, fine. Grace, how are you? Thank you very much, Team Zimbabwe, for the contributions you have put here. But I have brought this very important report because everyone was asking how was what was the outcome of the parallel tallying which was done by citizens, agents, and credible vote. And I've just decided to come with this, which is right here on the screen. And the results say ED got less than 40%, and more data cannot be published publicly for the sake of court challenges which might be launched and they do not want to preempt whatever evidence they have against the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission issues. So it is what it is, Team Zimbabwe. Let us continue to remain vigilant, peaceful, and let us continue to be prayerful. Change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe. We believe, we hope, and a greater Zimbabwe is going to be built by its own people, not by other broadcast. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha.